Next, on our events page, we have a list of all of our events, and we have a more complicated filtering. We have filtering by type and by topic and by searching, and you can of course mix all of them together. We also have features like clear all and a tag of what we're filtering by. So this is a little bit more complicated. Now, if I'm going into my events page here, I can see the list, but I don't see any filtering. All right, so we probably need to import this from Reloom. I'm going to select this to see what component is this, and I can see this is category filters 1. So on Reloom's website, I've searched for filters 1, and now we can see that we've got a bunch of filters here, and we can put here whatever kind of list we want. And when looking at the Power Apps, you've guessed it, we are using CMS filters by Finsweet, which works pretty much similar to how we've used the CMS slider, as in we're first adding a script, then we're basically selecting what is the list that we're filtering, the event list, where are the filters, and then we're basically selecting or identifying exactly what is the filtering that we want to do. So, and in this case, I also want to make the lists here dynamic, right? We don't want this to be static, just like the previous example with the tabs, so that if our clients add more types of workshops or more topics, they're automatically going to be pulled in here, because we're basically going to have here 3 collection lists: a collection list of the events, the collection list of the type of events, and the topics. So this is what we're going to do in this video. Let's get started. And the first thing that I'm going to do is to just basically bring in this filters. Now I can do it from the Reloom Chrome extension as I've done before, but I can also just copy it from here. So I'm hitting copying, and then when it's done, heading into my Webflow project, and under the section events calendar, maybe under padding global, let's paste that here, and then, because I don't know if it's bringing in a section or not. Actually, let me just paste it here inside of the main wrapper and see how it's pasting. Okay. Basically told me that there were a few matching classes. Okay. So this is a section. This section also have instructions. And in this case, the instructions are about what's going to happen on tablet, desktop, and how this whole filtering is going to be hidden once you click them. So you want to read this if you want, and then I'm just going to delete these instructions. And then we've got the padding global, container large, which is actually what we have here. And so I'm not going to do that. Padding section, margin top, and filters. So I just want this filters, and I'll just bring in the filters inside of the event schedule. And what I want to do is I want to take the list, it says here, filter empty with no results found, and just bring this list inside of this, not the filtering, but yeah, probably this one, max large. Let me see if, okay, nope, I didn't bring them in to the right place. I want to bring them here. So where is this? Feed content, replace this div. Okay, fantastic. So we need to bring in this here and delete the feed content. Okay, so now we've got the list in the right place, and we can delete the leftovers from here. Do I have the right design? No, actually this schedule, we just needed this schedule to be before this whole event thing, right? Okay, fantastic. So we've got this schedule here, and then underneath it, we've got this list. And yeah, okay. So we've got the core structure. We've brought in the filters, and we've put the list inside of the list space, although everything right now is still, it is still static. So we need to replace it with all of our CMS collections, but actually there's a lot of things here that we don't need. Let's look at what filters we need. We need radio filters first, then we need checkbox filters for the topics, and we need a search. Let's see what we've got here. Here we've got these just links, filter links, and then we've got these and all kinds of different filtering options, and then sliders. So there's a lot of things here that we just really don't need. So let's go ahead and clean up what we don't need here. There's a lot of filters category list. So I'm just going to delete this because we don't need it. This one we do need, topic. So I'm going to call this topic. We do need this, but before this, we actually need the radio buttons. So this filtering 2 actually, so many things going on here. Okay, so this filtering group 2, I'm going to bring it before this first one. And in here, we actually don't have a heading for this, but I think it actually is a good idea to call this event type so that we know what we're filtering by. So we've got the event type, we've got the topic, this filtering by tabs, we don't need this. So filtering group, delete this, delete the next one as well. What is this? filter 5 search. This we need. We're going to call this location and double click this. Instead of keyword, I'm just going to write here location so they know what they're searching here. This is drop down. We don't need this. So let's delete this whole filter group. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 more groups that we don't need with the sliders. So I'm just going to hit delete, delete, delete. And okay. So now we've got the structure. Actually, I also think that we don't need this sort by. Correct, because we don't have sorting here. So let's see where this is. Drop down toggle sort by. We don't need this. Delete. Okay, fantastic. Now we've got the structure. Let's actually start with putting in the event type as a collection list here. Now, while we couldn't bring in a collection list inside of a slider, we can actually bring inside of a form, which is what we've got here. All of these filtering are inside of a Webflow form. So let's see where this is. Here you can see the filters form block. This is great. And what we're looking for is we're looking for this list. Let's see where it is. Right, filters item 1. Fantastic. So we've got the items, we've got the list and the list wrapper. Yeah, so let's bring in here collection list. And in this case, the collection list is event types. Fantastic. That's great. Now inside the item, let's bring in the item. Just going to drop it in here. And inside of this name, why do we not? Yeah, it's here. We want to connect this to the text event type name. Fantastic. Let's see if we've got this dynamic. Fantastic. We've got lecture, exhibition, network, workshop. We don't need all of these static ones anymore. So I'm going to delete them, but I do want to keep the all because all is special. All is another filtering group, although it's not an event type. So I'm going to keep do you see filter all? I'm going to keep that. And this event list wrapper, actually we can give the classes, rename the classes here. So we can take event filter list wrapper and just apply this to our collection list. And then filter list, copy that into the collection list. Fantastic. So we don't need this wrapper. Sorry, no. Deleted. I want to make sure I'm not deleting. Oh, currently this wrapper is inside of the other wrapper. So now I deleted it, and all I've got left is the filtering all and then the collection list. Okay, so this is fantastic. This works. We're going to do the same now for these topics, although here we don't have this special all one, so we can just replace all of this filter list. Let's bring in another collection list. This time it's going to be for topics, event topics. Fantastic. Let's bring inside of the item. Let's take one item here and bring it inside of the item. Then we're going to copy the same classes just like we did previously for the wrapper, for the filters list. And we can go ahead and delete the wrapper and connect these into settings, connect the text into name. Now we've got all of the topics. Super. So we've got dynamic event type. We've got dynamic topics. Let's go ahead and tackle the list here. So where is the list hidden? We've got this list wrapper. All right, so inside of this schedule accordion, we actually don't need this whole accordion thing. Inside the schedule content, we're going to bring in a collection list. This time it's going to be the events. So let's bring this up so we can see the full list. Events. Super. And inside the events, we just want this single event schedule item. So let's just paste it in here inside of a collection list. Of course, connect all of these into this is time and date. This is actually just date in a different format, June 21st without a year. So let's see, June. So this is month and day. Where is month and day with no year? Here we go, month and day. So June 10th. Fantastic. We've got this. We can connect the name. One thing that is very important, if we are going to be filtering by event type, we have to make sure that we do have an event type written here, because the way the code works is it's looking for the word that is written here. If workshop is appearing here, we have to have the workshop here for it to match. Okay, so this is going to be probably the event type, right? So type name. And then location is going to be location. What else? We also need the events. We have category and we have topic. So instead of this is probably topic, right? It's actually New York. So where are the topics? So we're going to use this as a topic. Topic name. Okay, and view details is going to take us into the event page, current event. Fantastic. So now we've got the dynamic list. We can get rid of all of the static list that we've got here. Let's see where it is. Event schedule, accordion. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Fantastic. Okay. So now we've got dynamic filtering and we've got the dynamic list. Well, this list is very, very long. Let's implement Finsweet CMS filtering. All right, starting by copying the script, copy that, go to Webflow, page setting, and inside of the head, I'm going to paste that, save. Okay, step number 2, define the list. So this is, I want to filter the content of this list. So this is our events list. We're going to copy this and remember the value is list. We know that this is this one. This is this event list wrapper. Going to custom attribute, paste this and write list as the value. Fantastic. Next step, filters. So we've got the form. We already saw the form, right? And we're going to call this filters. So let's go here and look for the forms. So I'm just going to randomly select this and look for the form block, which is here. And under setting, give that a custom attribute of filter. Is that filter or filters? Filters. All right. So this is really important to write this correctly, otherwise it does not work. Okay, so we've got the filters. Now we have to do the field identifier. All right, so I want this checkbox label or radio label to interact with a specific text block or heading. Okay, so here's what we need to do here. And this is really great because they're showing you the video. So you're adding an attribute to CMS filter, this, for example, countries, and then where it matches to. Remember I told you, it's really important to have the text visible in both of them. So both of them need to be countries. Okay, so let's start matching them. So I'm going to copy this and let's start with this. So this is event type, right? So I'm going to go into settings and I'm going to add another, this is really great. It already has here this CMS filter identifier. So I'm just going to change this identifier to type, okay? This is great. And the other places it matches to is this, right? This text is the event identifier that correlates to this. So under settings, I'm going to add custom attribute and I'm going to do the same here, type. Make sure that they match. This is type and this is type. Fantastic. Let's do this also for topic. So I'm going to come here, change the identifier to topic, and I'm going to look for the topic here, which is, here's an example, sustainability. Custom attribute, paste this and write topic. Fantastic. Okay, so this should start working and we can go ahead and test this now to see at least if this is working before we move ahead to the location and showing count and clearing and all of that stuff. Let's test what we have so far. Okay, so we have published the website and we can now try to filter by workshop. And as you can see, only workshops are showing. Networking, only networking are showing. Let's open up topic and do sustainability. And now no results are found because I'm trying to filter both by networking and sustainability. Let's try to add a bunch. So here we go. Now we've got networking event that is about typography, right? So this is great. All is not working yet because we didn't set up the all. Clear all is not. Oh, clear all works. Fantastic. And you can also see that the showing is actually works, right? So now we're showing 10 out of 25. So this is really great because Relume's component for the filters already came with Finsweet CMS attribute applied. So it did save us a bunch of work. So the event types are working. The checkbox are working. Let's now implement the location. The last thing that we need to link is this search location. And when I'm opening up the documentation here, I can see that search field is actually just the same, right? It's a text input that has an identifier. And if we go here and select it, we can see that it already has some identifier. So we can call this location, and then we do the same, select the location, add an attribute and call it location. So it knows where to map the search. And that's it. We can go ahead and publish and test this out. And now we can test out by searching something like Milan, and we can see that we have filtered for an event in Milan. Or if we delete this and write New York, We can filter events in New York, and you can see that we've got these tags which are actually working. I can filter by multiple things, and of course click this or click clear all, and everything works pretty straightforward. So we've implemented filtering by multiple categories, multiple events. They're being pulled out dynamically, and this is very, very powerful for all types of use cases. Again, using the CMS filtering, very, very powerful.